Here's the stuff of
Giving up all this time. It's bread and wine. Oh, your cat don't stand a chance. Your cat don't stand a chance.
Yo 張りすぎず緩すぎず美しい音色は程よくチューニング力まずいきます自然のリズムに合わせた気分はミッキーマウスただ楽しめない毎日に刺激求め浴びる帰り地いらぬ心配は体に毒よ薬にもならん不安ならご不要しょうもないことでも骨折ってやってたらいつかは運命に追うて一丁前に口だけは他者になりましてどうもこんな私者中津都罰委員会の会長感謝忘れず今日も超会長騒ぎ出す60兆の細胞が歌いますその前に何回もやめよって考えるけど後戻りできないカンガルーみたいに前へ進んでは生み出す古い傷口から海を出す洗い流した数パーセント可能性はほんの数パーセント99回目の間違い笑い声が最高のおまじないいつも冗談言って飛び越える情熱と冷静のトリコロールボンジューすさんだ世界日本中歪んだ社会真っ暗な気持ちでいるのか真っ白な気持ちでいるのか絶望よりも希望を持って歩んでくその前に誰にも言えないあんなこと笑って話すこんなこと答えのない答えを探す泥沼の中で花を咲かすいつもの見慣れた景色今日は違って見える河川敷感謝する何気ない日々何を思うちょっと待ってください Please excuse me while I cry Since sayonara means
51. 200 copies. When is show of 51? I was born in show 26. So this is 1976. Yes, the box got it. And it's a nice set of prints from without you. Always is such a book.
I never get to catch this guy
This
live.
one, what does this sheet say?
I love this guy.
This one is true message.
He makes prints out of woods, woodblock prints. What do you guys think of my epic following list? Any comments or criticisms? What? What is Tampa Never Sleeps doing?
We're like, oh no. We've all been there. But, alright. Myrtle has the corner. Nice jump
Damn,
out.
they're
but
doing an
the
actual big
5
plus
game
R
does
tournament.
earn the burst. So Pez does escape the corner, but now going the other side. Little too high for the conversion, but not able to escape again. No real conversion, though, for Myrtle, but has taken about...
Testament is so fun in this
now
game.
the ESE
Not if you're playing against him, but
Okay, nice jump
he
out.
feels so good to play.
Wow, yeah. 2D under, and the Grand Viper going to make the escape.
Yeah, Pez is doing really well, or sorry, Myrtle's doing really well to get out of these bad situations in the corner. Like, they've dealt with the Testament-Oki quite well, but unfortunately the Hitomi was always there for the bait, the side switch from Pez as well, and the comeback is coming. No, he doesn't get the full combo. The DP, he canceled it into another DP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sick awareness, gets confirmed.
Damn,
So
he had
Warren
the
does
burst
get out
off
of the
him,
corner.
huh?
Opted to burst there. DP is baited, tried to punish you early, but gets it anyway. Not able to close it out, though. Good defense from Myrtle. Jumps out, trying to get it. Wow.
That's a nasty
Falling
soul.
ball kick.
That's a nasty soul.
Says, all right, you know what, Bet? Let's end this round right now. Myrtle gets the set point on the falling last second air volcanic Viper. Very nice. Pez gets the confirmed. Nice block on the overhead again. Right Stomp has been getting Myrtle out of a lot of situations here.
I was
So
gonna
far,
say,
hasn't
I can't
really
believe he
gotten
didn't punish that
punished, but
Right
the Air
Stomp.
grab from Pez kind of just lets Myrtle escape there, though, and now is back in the corner. Gets hit by the volcanic Viper. Opts to burst, and Myrtle now corners himself.
Yeah, unfortunately gets hit trying to find their way out here, and nice. Yeah, once again, using that right stomp really well. It's first frame airborne, so it does have some use in these Oki situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Very smart use there to get out. That's one of the keys.
Yeah,
in
usually you
testing
don't
is
see
figuring
right
out how
stomp
you
this
can
much.
navigate DB stuff without having to do heavy commitment or resources. But the throw, Myrtle opts to burst, wants to try and close this out by holding the corner. Doesn't get the confirm,
that
but
was
the
just
next
spaghetti
bar
at the end.
Good, and now we go to
All right, so
final round.
oh bad.
Once again, Myrtle just kind of looking for that opening.
Oh,
but,
Lukaniku
yeah, way
Viper.
more aggressive than game one. And Pez is just kind of waiting for Jordan or Myrtle to kind of hang
I love this
themselves now.
stage.
Yeah, right
Probably
now
like my
it's
second
working
favorite
pretty well,
stage
right?
in the whole game.
Does get out of the corner, got hit. Nightmare Circular,
It's an
not
art stage.
quite gonna connect, and immediately gets DP for the trouble.
I like the
Seen a
spirits
lot of
in
that far S from Pez, just trying to control the horizontal space, but goes in, gets gripped by the wild throw. This is gonna be solid. No, drops the combo actually, but
No dust
immediately
sleeve.
back in with the confirmed jump H.
Oh, he caught the burst and he
That's
said,
gonna
"Fuck
do it.
you."
Great burst
That
read
feels.
from
There's
Myrtle.
nothing
Great
better than a
awareness
burst
there.
bait and block and
Closes
burst in
out.
this game with punishing. It just
2
feels
games to 1.
amazing.
Really sick back and forth.
Yeah. Really, really good closeout there for Myrtle. It looked kind of rough at times. I felt like sometimes I was watching them kind of overextend.
I used to have a friend that I'd play Rainbow Six with, and he would say, "Demo, you're overextending. You're overextending." That's back. It's back when I used to play it religiously, and I was just drunk 24/7, and I'd run in with shields too fast, you know, like I do now. Demo, you're overextending. You're overextending. What's up, man? What's going on? Happy Sunday, fellas. Happy marvelous Sunday. Bit of a tragedy in the beetle enclosure today. Well, for the past few days. You guys, you know, I told you about the beetle that was flipped over on its back. And I told you it was strange. There was no reason for him to be flipped on his back. The one where I said only the strongest will survive, and I left him there. Yeah, I woke up today, or last night, I was sitting here and checked on my beetles, because, I don't always have to. And there were many more that were on their backs. Many more, including my beloved red beetle, my small red desert teneb. He's gone. My ironclad golden foot beetle is gone. He's dead. Just another darkling. One of the random darkling beetles is gone, dead. I had a big shiz in there. I don't remember the Latin name for it, but we just call him shiz. He was my second rarest beetle and the biggest guy in there. I let him. He was on his back for a day and a half. I thought maybe he could get the neurotoxin out of his system and maybe tank it and come back, but he didn't. So I put him out of his misery today. But overall, we had 6 deaths today, and I think that they're gone. I think that it's over. I didn't know. It was yesterday. I wasn't sure what was happening. I was so confused because they were just popping up, and I was like, "Oh no, what the fuck is this?" I had to lift everything up and see. I had to lift everything up and see all which ones were alive and which are dead. Good news is, miraculously, so far as I can tell, I haven't lifted up every piece of cork bark, but so far as I can tell, none of the blue death fanning beetles are affected at all. I don't know how. They are made of stronger stuff. They are insane. And Rooster is somehow also still alive, despite being so tiny. They died because I'm now coming to this. This is my conclusion that I've come to. I thought maybe, because the window wasn't open at all yesterday, so I thought maybe like an insecticide gust blew in. But that's just pretty unrealistic. I thought maybe I didn't, because I give them veggies and I wash the veggies really thoroughly before I give it to them, just in case there's any lingering anything, like a neighboring pesticide or some kind of disease at the grocery store or something. And I buy pretty much everything organic without pesticides, so I was just racking my brain trying to figure out what the fuck could have got to them. I just sitting there with my hands on my hips, looking at all of my beetles dying yesterday and today. Could not figure it out, and then it clicked. When I took Kunky to the vet, they sent me home with a super powerful 1-month-long heartworm, tick, and flea medication to put on his back. And I completely forgot about it. So that means that I put that on Kunky, and either some of it got on my fingers and I reached in there and gave them food, or when I was sleeping, when it was fresh on the nape of his neck, Kunky jumped up on top of the enclosure and it wafted down inside of the enclosure and attacked some of their nervous systems. But that's definitely what it is. It's got to be that. But yeah, we lost 6 of them. None of the blue death fanning beetles are dead. I don't know what the hell those guys are made of, but pretty much all of the specific other species that I had in there have gone. I flipped over a cork bark, and I saw my most elusive guy in there, my Nyctoporus, and he is huge. He's gotten so much bigger. You never see him because they don't ever come out. They come out at night for like 5 minutes and they feed on a piece of detritus, and then they go back under the cork bark and they disappear forever. He's not a very big beetle either, but he's probably doubled in size, and he was not affected. So far as I can tell, my Nyctoporus is fine. But yeah, I lost my red guy that I loved very much. I don't know how he was still alive because he's so old. Yeah, so Kunky, I don't know if it was my fault or... I mean, it's entirely my fault. I Zyklon bead them and killed at least 6 of my beetles, so... You know, it is what it is. I can't wait to sleep and have nightmares about this, but... I mean, I see them now. There's a bunch of them right now that are just running around and having a good time in there, so they don't know. And last night, I had some other 2 in there that last night, my red one, my red desert teneb, and a little stink beetle that I had them quarantined off in a piece of Tupperware with some sand, just to see if they could fight off the neurotoxin and maybe bounce back. They didn't. Neither did the big guy. I let the big guy sit there. I tried to prop him up upright. He's a huge, I keep forgetting what his name is, but he's larger than a quarter. He's like an inch and a half big. He's a huge, big darkling beetle in there. But yeah, he couldn't tank it. I let him sit there and lay on his back for a day and a half, and then he just was not made. I put him upright too right before I decided to go put him down. I put him upright to see if he could stand and stuff. He just couldn't, so. That's the bad news. The good news is I managed to work that fiasco and nightmare into my writing today, so there's the silver lining. They're gonna live on in spirit in my story, immortalized. Sometimes you gotta have a little tragedy for inspiration, I suppose. No, I didn't crush any of them. I just flushed them down the toilet where they could drown. It was that, or seal them in a plastic bag and let them suffocate. I wasn't gonna crush any of them. That'd be too much. Yeah, I mean the blue death feeding beetles are doing remarkably well right now, honestly. They're all running around. How you doing, little fellers? They are entirely unaware of the gas attack that has befallen their fallen brothers. Yeah, the Bitterbug boys, they live to fight another day. And I did check on Rooster. Rooster was hiding underneath a piece of driftwood. This one over here. Rooster was hiding underneath that piece of driftwood, and I lifted it up, and he was snug between two corpses underneath them. So I'm just sitting here like, oh no, Rooster's now gonna get infected and die. And Rooster does this thing where he's the Hellburnt Diabolical Ironclad beetle. They're infamous for being able to be ran over by a car. Maybe you've seen a YouTube short on them or something that went viral. But yeah, he did his little defensive posture and did his run me over with a car posture, and he was fine, so. He was out in the light, and then when I came back to check on him, he was gone, so. Usually when they're gonna die, they try to find somewhere. Their brain tells them to go somewhere where they don't feel bad. So they usually come out from hiding, and then they go die in the open. They don't usually die underneath something. But yeah, like I said, I haven't seen a single blue death feigning beetle dead. Those guys are remarkable. These are remarkable insects. I don't know how not a single one of them is dead. And they're just a darkling beetle as well. But many of the darkling beetles I also have in here died. So, blue death feigning beetles are an incredibly resilient species, it would appear. And so is Rooster. It sucks, though, that I lost my red guy. He was fun. He was fast. It was nice to see him come out every now and again and chew on a mushroom or something. The big boy, the shiz, I never see him ever, so seeing him out and about and on his back was a sure sign that things were totally not good. They're saying hello. Wow. Yeah, so I fed all their corpses to Bardiel. And a yummy little snack. I'm just kidding. Because they could be infected with poison, so I did not.
Out here in our winter series matchup.
little harder in this game, but I do also think you're right. Like, God, it's so much easier to play offense when they don't first.
It really is. It really is. It's night and day. And especially against a character like Dizzy, like you said, it's like, once you get her knocked down, you don't want her getting back. Like, she needs to be locked down.
Dizzy's a menace in that game too. Dizzy, if you find a really good Dizzy player online, and plus R there, it's just disgusting. I feel like Dizzy probably isn't Cliff's worst matchup, but it's not fun. I think Testament and I think Bridget's such a horrible matchup for Cliff. I can't stand fighting Bridgets. Cliff just can't catch them. It's so annoying. I want to play Guilty Gear. I took a screwdriver and shoved it in the port of my Xbox controller and slammed it, and I felt something move inside, like it was jostled into place, so maybe I can connect my Xbox controller to this new cable that I got and it won't disconnect. I'm just tired of using the PlayStation controller for fighting games.
Here's the stuff of nightmares. This was a zoologist some decades ago who was in the water somewhere around there and got grabbed by a croc, bitten, injured. He passed out. And fortunately, the croc decided this is somebody to save for a few weeks from now and pushed him into his cave rather than kill him. So this turns out to be what they do, because crocodiles do something that is amazing and totally disgusting. The crocodiles that used to live in my neighborhood there, during the peak migratory season of wildebeest, the crocs would be in a river, and the crocs go crazy at that point, dragging down wildebeest and zebras left and right. So this is a lot of dead meat sitting around afterward. And crocodiles had more meat there than they can consume. What do? They pull the carcass underwater to an underground cave where they deposit the body. When they feel like going through the leftovers, they pull out this carcass and then eat it, this carcass that's been rotting turgidly inside this underwater cavern for months and months. And fortunately for him, human, there happened to be a bubble of air up at the top of the cave that he bobbed up to, and somewhere later he wakes up in absolute pitch black darkness and water, injured in pain, with all of these bloated wildebeest bodies floating near him. And he figured out where he was, and he figured out what I have to do now is dive down and fight my way through these wildebeest carcasses and come out the mouth of the cave and get to the surface and swim to the shore, hopefully before a croc grabs me.
Cool. I don't know if he did. That was someone Sapolsky. He has a book called The Determined on the behavioral science, something about fate, so free will. He made a non-fiction book on the behavioral science and free will, and argues that human beings don't actually have any free will at all. And I'm gonna read it. It seems really interesting. I think he may talk about crocodiles. So if I don't have free will, then the beetles that died, there's nothing I could do about that. It's comforting. I didn't kill those beetles. The slow, cruel, and unrelenting hands of fate and time killed those beetles. Then you must play Final Fantasy X? Comes a big old thick nasty viscous rope across your chin. Oh shit, I'm sorry man, I didn't see you there. What were you saying? About something? What was that? I didn't hear what you were saying. Final Fantasy IX looks good. But the Final Fantasy I'd probably play next would be Final Fantasy VII. Because I liked what little I played of it when I was younger. I actually loved what little I played of it when I was younger. I thought it was awesome. Oh my god, I was gonna turn on a game, but can I show you guys my basil first? I jerked off to this fat-titted whore today. Dignified women are my slaves. For my sexual pleasure. Where's my basil? Oh. I got this too. Isn't that nice? Hyokoro? I haven't heard. That's a name I haven't heard in a very long time. He was doing Oreimo Dojinshi for a while. And then he switched to this, he got way into lactation. Hyoko Road. He got way into lactation, and then he had this special series where this girl couldn't stop lactating, and this guy had to keep expressing her breasts to let all the milk out, and it made her cum. And he made like a bunch of those. This is my basil. There's like 4 different types in there. But yeah, he does draw some pretty good facial expressions. These birds were out today. This was new. A blue-headed vireo? I'd never heard that one before. But yeah, there's always new birds being added when I'm using my bird listening device. And I saw a really tough twig in the center of my onion bucket, and I said, "What the hell is that?" And it was so hard to pull out, and I yanked it out. A squirrel buried an acorn in there for safekeeping, and it sprouted. An acorn tree was growing in my pot. But I didn't feel too bad about yanking it out because those squirrels do a pretty good job at perpetuating those things. That's how exciting my day was. I spent the majority of my day writing. I'm at, I don't remember what I put in the ticker before this, but I wrote a little, I put that in and then I wrote something right before I started the stream as well. So I'm at like 14,500 words now. So that's pretty good. It makes me feel fulfilled. There's not a day that goes by where I spend a lot of time writing and then I feel terrible. Even on a day like today where I had to get rid of 6 of my beetles. Hopefully no more. But you know, anything can happen, I guess. What are the words of the day? I don't have any for you, but I can give you some. How about scruples? There was another one I really like. How about scruples, comportment, and genitive? Today's words are scruples, comportment, and genitive. Try using them in a sentence. have no scruples about jerking off to fat-titted anime whores. Yes. Yes. Yes.